G'day everyone, I'm Dave. Thanks again for joining me. So my last story, the way I actually structured the video was quite popular. So I'm going to mix my videos up a bit, as I said. So I'll be doing straight explainers, me explaining to the screen how it works, showing all the technical guff. But the story aspect, everyone has a story, and the story is a way of conveying your message. I mean, we're humans, we're storytellers, that's what we do. So this new format actually went quite well because it sort of flowed and put people in the way. So when I tell this story, I'm trying to invoke in you the thought of how this actually works in daily basis without all the technical guff, basically. So hope you enjoy the video. It's a story about Sutherland Shire and how important it is to have an understanding of where people get their information from that are going to come to your business. That's basically what the story is about. I remember wandering through our local market not too long ago, the air buzzing with laughter and the smell of fresh produce mingling with baked goods. It was vibrant and alive, full of potential. As I strolled past the stalls, I couldn't help but think about the small business owners behind those tables. Take this lovely lady selling handmade candles. Her hands were busy pouring wax, but I could see the frustration on her face when a customer asked for her website. She shrugged, looking lost in the sea of digital noise, just like so many others. For many of these folks, the old way of doing things felt like a never-ending game of chance. They'd build a website, sprinkle in some keywords, and pray that Google would notice them. It was like shouting into a void, hoping someone would hear. I can picture a small business owner, say a plumber, sitting at their kitchen table. Late at night, scrolling through search results, each click leading to more frustration. They'd see competitors popping up everywhere, their own business buried beneath a mountain of links. But there's a shift happening. Now, we're moving from a world of searching to a world of asking. People aren't just typing in queries anymore. They're having conversations with their devices. They want recommendations, not just lists. It's about time. Small businesses had a fair shot, don't you reckon? I often think back to the countless small business owners I've met over the years. They're passionate folks pouring their hearts into cafes, plumbing services, and beauty salons. But when it comes to online visibility, it's like they've been stuck in a frustrating loop. I remember chatting with a woman who ran a local cafe. She'd put her soul into crafting the perfect menu. But getting customers through the door felt like an uphill battle. She spent hours tinkering with her website, trying to figure out the right keywords, writing blog posts that no one seemed to read. It was disheartening. Really? Every time Google changed its algorithm, it felt like a punch to the gut. She'd scramble to keep up, worrying that all her hard work would go unnoticed. And she wasn't alone. So many small business owners found themselves lost in the maze of SEO, backlinks, and ever-changing trends, while all they really wanted was to serve their community. It was like trying to find a needle in a haystack, endless searching, hoping for a glimmer of recognition. But here's the thing, the game is changing. We're shifting from this exhausting cycle of hoping and waiting to something much more engaging. People are looking for conversations rather than just search. Results. They want real recommendations, not just a list of businesses. Finally, it feels like small businesses might just get the chance they deserve to shine. I remember my mate Tom, a local plumber, telling me about his experience finding new clients. He used to spend hours trying to figure out the best keywords for his website while juggling a million other things like fixing leaky taps and managing his team. One day, he decided to give AI a go. Instead of just typing plumber near me into a search engine, he asked a voice assistant, "Hey, who's the best plumber in Sutherland Shire?" Within seconds, he got recommendations based on real feedback and local insights. It was like flipping a switch. Suddenly, he wasn't just a name on a list. He became a trusted option for anyone needing plumbing help. Now, people are asking questions like, which cafe is kid-friendly? Or, where can I find a good mechanic nearby? It's not just about listing businesses anymore. It's about real conversations. And that's a massive shift. Instead of scrolling through pages of links, folks want answers. Tailored to their needs. They're looking for businesses that resonate with them, that feel like a part of their community. This change isn't just a trend, it's a new way of connecting. When someone asks for recommendations, they want a name they can trust. It's all about building relationships, and businesses can finally step into the spotlight. It's an exciting time for small businesses, and I can't wait to see how they adapt and thrive in this new landscape. What about your experience? Have you noticed how people are asking for recommendations differently? When we talk about entity recognition, it's a bit like having a good mate who knows you inside and out. It's not just about knowing your name or where you live. It's about understanding what you're all about, who you hang out with, and what you can offer for a business. That means being recognized not just as a name, on a sign, but as a whole entity with depth and character. Let me share a little story. There's a local cafe in my neighbourhood, a charming spot called The Daily Grind. It's not just a place to grab a coffee, it's where the community gathers. When they started focusing on how they were perceived online, they realised it wasn't enough to just be listed in a directory. They wanted to be seen as the go-to place for family brunches or the best spot for a quiet afternoon coffee by creating content that highlighted their unique offerings like kid-friendly spaces or gluten-free options. They made it easier for AI systems to recognise them for what they truly were. Suddenly, they weren't just another cafe. They were the cafe that families loved and where locals felt at home. This is the crux of it. AI isn't just looking for names, it's looking for connections, for stories, for the essence of what makes a business tick. It's about creating a web of meaning around your business so that when someone asks, where can I find a good coffee nearby? It's your cafe that springs to mind. Have you ever thought about how your business could be recognised in the same way? Let me tell you about Sutherland Shire Online and why it's a game changer for local businesses. You see, traditional directories are like those. Old school phone books handy, but a bit dull, right? You find a name, a number, maybe an address, but that's about it. Sutherland Shire Online flips that idea on its head. It's not just a list, it's a whole ecosystem of information, buzzing with life and connections. Imagine a local cafe that decided to join this platform. Instead of merely being another name on a page, they crafted a profile showcasing everything they offered. They shared snippets about their award-winning coffee, the cozy atmosphere that welcomes families, and even the gluten-free treats they whip up. They didn't just want to be known as a cafe. They wanted to be the cafe that families flock to on weekends or the go-to spot for a quiet afternoon catch-up. This approach created a rich tapestry of content around their business, making it easier for the platform and ultimately the customers to see them for what they truly are. And here's where it gets interesting. When people ask, where can I find a good coffee nearby? The AI behind Sutherland Shire Online isn't just pulling from a list, it's pulling from a web of information that paints a vivid picture of this cafe, its personality, its values, and even its community connections. That's the power of Sutherland Shire Online. It's about being seen, being understood, and creating a genuine connection with the locals. So how do you think your business could tell its story in a way that resonates? Think about it for a moment. When a family moves to a new area, they often feel a bit lost, don't they? They're looking for that perfect local service that fits their needs, whether it's a reliable plumber or a welcoming cafe. Now, imagine them sitting around the kitchen table, chatting about their day, when someone asks, hey, where can we find a good dog groomer? Instead of scrolling through endless search results, they hop onto Sutherland Shire Online and suddenly they're immersed in a world of local information. This platform isn't just a list, it's an ecosystem. It's like walking into a bustling local market where each stall is alive with stories and connections. You've got the directory layer, which is the backbone, guiding people to businesses. Then there are category pages that help them understand what's out there. But here's the magic. There's also rich local Q&A content that digs deeper into what the community really needs. It's as if they're not just looking for services. They're discovering the heart of the community picture. Them finding a dog groomer who not only trims fur, but also supports local shelters. They see the reviews, the community engagement, and even the stories of happy pups. This isn't just about transactions. It's about relationships. The family can feel the trust radiating from the platform. They're not just finding a service, they're connecting with a local business. That understands them. That's what makes Sutherland Shire Online so powerful. It's about weaving those connections. So when someone asks for a recommendation, the answer isn't just a name, but a story that resonates. How do you think your story could enrich that connection? As we look to the future, it's important to embrace these changes, to see the potential that AI brings to our local economies. Imagine a small cafe in the Sutherland Shire, once struggling with foot traffic, now bustling with customers who've discovered it through personalised recommendations. They're not just reading a menu, they're hearing about the barista's passion for organic, coffee sourced from local farmers. That connection makes all the difference. Or think about a family-run plumbing service that's been in the area for generations. They've adapted, embraced the new technology, and now they're popping up in conversations when people ask for reliable service. Their reputation isn't just built on a few good reviews. It's woven into the very fabric of the community, thanks to a platform that understands their story. These aren't isolated cases. Across the board, businesses that have leaned into this AI-driven landscape are seeing growth, not just in sales, but in loyalty and community engagement. They're thriving because They're not just selling a product or service, they're building relationships. So if you're a small business owner, now's the time to ask yourself, how can you adapt? How can you leverage these tools to tell your story? Because at the end of the day, it's about making those genuine connections. And I reckon there's nothing more powerful than a local business that truly understands its community. How do you see your business fitting into this new narrative? As we wrap up this journey, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've explored together. The landscape for small businesses has shifted dramatically, and it's not just about having a presence online anymore. It's about being part of a conversation, a community, and a much larger narrative. You've heard how the traditional methods of marketing have often left business owners feeling frustrated, like they were shouting into the void. But now, with platforms like Sutherland Shire Online, there's a real chance to engage meaningfully. It's about being understood, not just seen. It's about weaving your story into the fabric of your local area where your reputation builds on every interaction and recommendation. Think about it. When customers ask for suggestions, they're not just looking for names, they want trust and reliability, and that's exactly what this new approach offers. It's about connecting with your community, building relationships, and being part of the local conversation. So I encourage you to dive into these local platforms. Explore what's available, engage with your community, and share your experiences. How have you navigated these changes? What stories do you have about connecting with your customers? I'd love to hear your thoughts. It's these shared experiences that not only enrich our community, but also pave the way for future growth. Let's keep this conversation going because your story matters. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. It hopefully gives you some understanding of the importance of knowing where your next client is coming from, which will be an AI agent, someone asking their AI assistant. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. I will catch you in the next one.